Welcome to FantasyNook Bedtime Stories, a place where your imagination can soar. Before we unveil tonight's tale, pictorial and filled with magic and mystery, where miracles happen at every turn. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Our story is about to begin.
Welcome to FantasyNook Bedtime Stories, a place where your imagination can soar. Before we unveil tonight, made a tale, picture a land filled with magic and mystery, where miracles happen at every turn.
Are you ready?
Take a deep breath. Our story is about to begin. The peaceful garden of Mopsy. At the edge of a quiet village, there is a wide field where a little rabbit named Mopsy lives. Mopsy has soft fur and curious eyes, but she often feels anxious and uneasy. Whenever night falls or she encounters something unfamiliar, Mopsy's heart starts to race. She's worried about the unknown. Mopsy's family and friends noticed her anxiety. They tried to comfort her, telling her that everything would be fine. But Mopsy's heart was always full of worries. She was afraid she couldn't handle the challenges of life. One day, a gentle sheep lady named Mrs. Fluffy came to the village. She heard about Mopsy's situation and decided to visit the little rabbit. When she arrived at Mopsy's home, she found Mopsy curled up in a corner, her eyes filled with worry. Mrs. Fluffy sat next to Mopsy and asked in her warm and calm voice, "Dear Mopsy, why are you so worried?" Mopsy lifted her head and told Mrs. Fluffy about her feeling. She was afraid of the dark, afraid of change, and afraid of losing the love of her friends and family. Mrs. Fluffy listened carefully and then took out a small bottle filled with colorful seeds from her pocket. She told Mopsy, "These are peace seeds. If you plant them with care, they will help you find inner peace." Mopsy curiously took the seeds, feeling a glimmer of hope. She decided to follow Miss Fluffy's advice and start planting these magical seeds. Mopsy carefully planted the peace seeds in her favorite patch of grass. She visited the seeds every day, watering, weeding, and tending to them patiently. As time went by, the seeds began to sprout and grow tender green leaves. Mopsy felt a sense of peace and joy she had never experienced before. However, the planting process was not always smooth. One day, a sudden storm hit the village, and Mopsy's garden was affected. After the storm, Mopsy ran to her garden and found some seedlings blown over and petals scattered everywhere. She felt very sad, worried that her garden wouldn't recover.
At that moment,
Mrs. Fluffy appeared. She told Mopsy, "Everything in nature goes through storms, just like we face challenges and difficulties in life. What's important is to have the courage to face them and learn from them." Mopsy was deeply touched by these words and decided not to give up. She continued to care for her garden with Mrs. Fluffy's help. Mopsy learned how to reinforce the plants and protect them better from harsh weather. She started to use small sticks to support the seedlings and covered the roots with leaves to keep the soil moist. Mopsy also learned to observe the weather and predict possible changes so she could prepare in advance. Slowly, Mopsy's garden came back to life. Her garden attracted many butterflies and bees flying among the flowers and adding more vitality. Mopsy found that when she focused on caring for her garden, her anxiety gradually lessened. She began to enjoy her time with nature and the process of watching life grow. Mopsy's garden became a small miracle in the village. Other animals started coming to share in its peace and beauty. Mopsy taught them how to plant and care for the plants, and her garden became a place for everyone to tend together. Through caring for her garden, Mopsy learned patience and perseverance. She realized that life's difficulties are like storms, they will pass. Whenever she felt anxious, she would go to her garden, spend time with the plants, feel the peace and strength of nature. Mopsy's garden brought peace not only to her, but also to the entire village. Mopsy's garden gradually became a sanctuary for her soul. Whenever she heard about the worries and troubles of other animals in the village, she would invite them to her garden to feel its warmth and calm. Mopsy found that by sharing her garden, she could help others as well as herself. One day, a little bird flew into Mopsy's garden, looking very anxious and tired. The bird told Mopsy it had lost its way during migration, couldn't find its companions, and was filled with anxiety. Mopsy listened sympathetically to the bird's story, then showed it around her garden and shared the power of the peace seed. Mopsy taught the bird how to create a small garden corner with the peace seeds, helping it find a sense of belonging in this land. The bird was deeply moved by Mopsy's kindness and wisdom and began to build a nest in the garden and care for the plants with Mopsy. As the seasons changed, Mopsy's garden experienced all kinds of weather, sometimes sunny and sometimes rainy. But no matter what the situation, Mopsy learned to stay calm and face it positively. She understood that, just like the plants in her garden, each challenge in life is an opportunity for growth. Mopsy began hosting garden parties, inviting all the animals in the village to celebrate the beauty of nature together. At these parties, everyone shared their stories, listened to each other, and supported one another. Mopsy's garden became a place of love and friendship, where every visiting animal felt accepted and cherished. Mopsy's garden also attracted a wise old cat named Professor Paul. Professor Paws was very interested in Mopsy's garden and her story. He told Mopsy that her garden was not just a beautiful place, but also a sanctuary for healing the soul. He encouraged Mopsy to share her story and the power of peace seeds with more people. Inspired by Professor Paws, Mopsy started sharing her experiences at the village school, teaching children how to manage their emotions by caring for plants. Her stories and methods became very popular with the children, who began planting peace seeds at home and sharing the calm with their family. Mopsy's garden and her story spread throughout the village, making her a respected little rabbit, a small hero who could help others overcome anxiety with the power of nature. Her life was filled with meaning and purpose, knowing that no matter what the future held, she and her garden would greet each new sunrise together. As the seasons changed, the village welcomed a special daily flower festival. It was the largest festival of the year, where all the residents showed off their flowers, turning the entire village into a sea of colors. Mopsy decided to showcase her peaceful garden at this year's festival. To prepare for the flower festival, Mopsy and her animal friends worked hard. They not only tended to the plants, but also made many decorations and prepared activities. Mopsy carefully cultivated a new peace flower, hoping it would bloom at the festival and surprise everyone. On the morning of the flower festival, the village was filled with the scent of flowers and laughter. Mopsy put on her most beautiful dress and brought her peace flower to the festival. Her heart was full of anticipation, but also a little nervous, wondering if others would like her peace flower. When Mopsy arrived at the festival, she was amazed by the sight. The whole village had become a sea of flowers, with various flowers blooming in brilliant color. Mopsy found a suitable spot to display her peace flower, which attracted many villagers' attention with its gentle glow. Soon, Professor Paws announced the start of the flower festival. Villagers began showcasing their flowers and sharing their story. When it was Mopsy's turn, she stepped forward to display her peace flower and shared how she used these flowers to overcome anxiety and find inner peace. Mopsy's story deeply moved everyone present. Her peace flower was not only beautiful, but also had a special meaning. Villagers gathered around Mopsy's garden, curiously examining the flowers and asking her for planting tips. Mopsy patiently answered everyone's questions, feeling very happy that her peace flower and story could touch so many hearts. Just then, a rainbow appeared in the sky, arching over the village and adding more color to the festival. Mopsy looked up at the rainbow, feeling a sense of gratitude. She knew nature was affirming her garden and effort. She believed that with heartfelt actions, even the smallest actions could bring about significant change. The flower festival ended with laughter and joy, and Mopsy's peaceful garden became one of the most popular displays. She received many compliments and encouragements, and her peace flower was named the miracle under the rainbow. Mopsy felt very proud knowing that her garden and story had deeply touched the entire village. After the flower festival, Mopsy's peaceful garden became a legend in the village. Her peace flowers not only won praise at the festival, but also brought tranquility and harmony to the village's daily life. However, Mopsy did not feel smart. She knew that true understanding is not achieved with one-time success, but through continuously helping others understand and cope with anxiety. Mopsy started organizing regular garden gatherings, inviting every resident to share their worries and anxiety. At these gatherings, Mopsy not only taught everyone how to care for plants, but more importantly, how to ease inner unease through close contact with nature. Whenever night fell, Mopsy would lead everyone in the garden to sit quietly, listen to the sounds of insects and the breeze, and feel the peace of nature. She told everyone that just as the night would pass and the sun would rise, anxiety and unease were also temporary and would fade with time. Mopsy paid special attention to the village children, knowing their minds are particularly sensitive and easily influenced. She started a little gardening club, teaching the children how to plant flowers and cultivate patience and love through caring for plants. Under Mopsy's guidance, the children learned to observe the growth process of plants and appreciate the power and beauty of life. They began to understand that just as plants need sunlight and water, human hearts also need care and understanding. The children found joy in the gardening club and learned how to cope with their little anxieties through Mopsy's stories. Mopsy's journey to understanding did not end. She knew it was an ongoing process. She continuously learned new methods and explored new possibilities, hoping to help others more effectively. Her story and peaceful garden became a symbol in the village, reminding everyone that when facing life's challenges, we can all find our way to inner peace and strength. As time passed, Mopsy's peaceful garden thrived and her story spread farther and farther. Regardless of age, young or old, anxiety or confusion, anyone who entered Mopsy's garden found a touch of peace and hope. Mopsy's actions proved that even the smallest existence could become a beacon of light to others' hearts. With the changing seasons, Mopsy's peaceful garden witnessed countless warm stories and transformations of heart. The flowers in the garden bloomed and withered with time, then bloomed again, just like Mopsy, and the villagers' moods finding peace after ups and downs. On the last night of the year, Mopsy decided to hold a special celebration to thank nature for all its gifts. She invited all the villagers to light a warm bonfire in the garden. Everyone sat around the fire, sharing their experiences and insights from the past year. Children played joyfully in the garden, while adults chatted, each with a smile on their face. Mopsy sat quietly in a corner of the garden, watching the dancing flames and feeling grateful. garden was not just a place for planting flowers, but a community filled with love and.
As the night deepened and the celebration came to an end, the villagers reluctantly said goodbye and returned to their home.
Mopsy stayed alone in the garden, gently touching the peace flowers and softly saying, "Thank you, my garden, my home." She believed that as long as there was love in the heart, nothing was impossible. Mopsy peacefully drifted into a dream where she and all the life in the garden danced joyfully under the rainbow. And the peaceful garden, this magical land, would continue to quietly guard everyone's hearts, spreading the power of peace and harmony. I hope you enjoyed this fantasy journey. If you want to continue exploring more mysterious stories, don't forget to subscribe to FantasyNook Bedtime Stories. Good night, and may you wake up remembering all the wonder.